Sometimes homemaking is full of exciting events, such as renovations to the home, remodeling, decorating for the holidays, getting new home decor, but many days of homemaking are just ordinary days, simple, beautiful, ordinary days, where the little small things must be done time and time again, but matter ever so much. Sometimes homemaking is a time where we get behind in our tasks and we have to play the game of catch up. My last video was about our recent trip to Ohio, and as we were coming home, we started getting sick, and our family has been very, very sick. You can probably still hear it in my voice a bit. We actually had 4 daughters diagnosed with pneumonia last week, which is crazy. I honestly don't ever remember any of us having pneumonia, and I was diagnosed with bronchitis. And so of course, when mama is sick and the family is down, homemaking tasks definitely can fall behind. So I have been playing catch up on homemaking tasks, on just tidying and dusting and cleaning and washing all the dirty dishes. And this is part of being a homemaker. I am using my new Shark vac mop. It's kind of like a Swiffer, but it's a vacuum cleaner and it mops 2-in-1. I am so impressed. We were at a friend's house and she showed me hers and I could not believe it. You use little pads on it just like you do a regular Swiffer. And it does have to be the Shark pads because of the way that they are designed for this vac mop. But I love it. I can alternate between vacuuming and mopping, and it is just as easy as using a Swiffer. And I will put the link for that in the description below. Once I got up and started feeling some better, I had so much just tidying up to do, catching up to do, restocking the kitchen with groceries, putting things away. So just these things that are everyday, nothing spectacular, but I love the fact that I get to be the one to do it. I get to be the one to keep my home, to be the homemaker I always dreamed of being. It is a privilege. I love this quote by Lucy Maud Montgomery. She said, "It has been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will." Lucy Maud Montgomery. One task that has to be done quite often in my cottage kitchen is just wiping down these glass canisters. I love these canisters. I get them at Walmart. They are very reasonably priced, and I just love being able to have dry goods at my fingertips when I'm cooking and baking. But they do need a frequent wipe down, so here I am doing that task here. We can't have all wins. Sometimes we have losses in the farmhouse kitchen. Unfortunately, some ants got into my glass canisters that are on this other counter here, and I think they may not be the best solution for holding my dry goods. I have cleaned them up now, as you will see in the video, and put them in the pantry, and I can store other things in them, but I didn't want to use those sugars after the ants had been crawling around in there. On my last video about our trip to Ohio, I showed how we brought home some cuttings from some of our plants in Ohio, And so I have been watering those and enjoying seeing them growing here in our farmhouse kitchen in Texas. With all of the sick people in my family, I wanted to find a soup to make for them, and so I pulled out one of my Pioneer Woman cookbooks. I will try to link that in the description below. And I ended up making a sausage, kale, potato soup. We actually ate on it for 2 days. It was delicious. Before I could start working on the soup for our dinner, I needed to throw together a lunch for my sick people. And so I decided to make some slider sandwiches. These are just sliders that I bought in the bakery section at Costco, and I filled them with some ham and tried to stuff them with microgreens and lettuce and load the plate down with green things and veggies and fruits. Lots of nutritious things for those who were trying to heal. I recently found this micro rainbow mix of greens at Costco, and it was perfect for adding to the sandwiches. I also added some to the plates and added fruits and veggies on top. I always feel like these little mini bell peppers are such a good healthy option for lunch or any time. They're so easy to wash really quickly and cut them up. So I added those also to the plates and let the children snack on those for lunch as well. At this point, I just added in some little cherry tomatoes. I have found that my strawberries stay so much fresher if I will store them in a glass mason jar with a lid. And so I was adding in some delicious strawberries on these plates. I love how colorful the plates turned out. Some of my children are fans of pickles and some are not. Do your children like pickles? I would love it if you would tell me in the comments below. I decided to just put the pickles on the side so that they would have an option. Blueberries are a great source of antioxidants, and so I added that, and look at that pop of blue color next to all the other colors. So fun. Costco sells these little smoothies. They are the Naked brand, and they tell you on the side like how many juiced apples or carrots or berries or whatever are contained in each little smoothie. But they are packed full of nutrients, and so I also served those nutrient dense smoothies to my children for lunch. I recently ordered this little drying rack or stand from Amazon. I was impressed with the quality of the mat, and I wasn't sure. I haven't had a wooden rack like this before, but I liked the vintage look of it. And I didn't get it to put a ton of dishes on, but just really just to be able to put a few things as I go through the day. Often when I'm cooking, I will use the same bowl or dish multiple times in the process, and it's nice to be able to quickly wash it and throw it up on the rack, let it dry, and then it's right there for me to use again later in the day or in the cooking process. This rack has a beautiful wood finish. It's a little on the darker side than a lot of them that I've seen that are more of a light wood, but I am really enjoying it. I've been using it now for a few days, and it's just been super handy to be able to wash a bowl, pot, a lid, put it up there, and then come back later and it's completely dry, and I'm either using it again or putting it away in the drawer. And I feel like instead of looking ugly or cluttered on the counter, I feel like it adds to the vintage cottage look of the kitchen. So I'm really happy with it, and I will put the link in the description box in case you're interested. You can find it there. Here's a quote from Elizabeth George. "Time is never wasted when you use it to create a better environment for your family and others. Home is a place where busyness is proper, called for, and desperately needed. Don't neglect to busy yourself with your homemaking." Elizabeth George. I wanted to share with you the process of making this potato kale sausage soup for my family. I cannot get the exact recipe since it came from the Pioneer Woman cookbook, but I will have that book linked if you are interested. It was delicious. So I started out by washing these red potatoes, and I ended up just cooking them in my Instant Pot to get them soft and put them in there for a few minutes, and that's how I cooked the potatoes. Next, it was time to brown the sausage, and I had my youngest daughter there to help me. I do love spending time with her in our cottage kitchen, and she did a great job of browning the sausage for me. Just added in a little olive oil to cook the sausage. And while she was browning the sausage, I chopped up an onion and we added that in to cook with the sausage. At this point, I began to chop up some kale. Now, a lot of my family is not real fond of kale, but I think it is delicious in this soup. It is just the perfect addition. And once the kale was done and the sausage had been cooked, we drained the sausage and let the water and fat drain off of that, just kind of dried it out some. Now it was time to start really putting the soup together. We poured some half and half and some heavy cream into a soup pot. So we added the heavy cream, the milk, and the half and half to get the liquid for the soup going. Another part of the soup liquid was chicken broth, so we added that in as well. We seasoned our soup with some oregano and some salt and pepper, and we added in some red pepper flakes as well. It was now time to add the sausage to the liquid part of the soup. I found these rolls. They are supposed to be the rolls that are served at the Cheesecake Factory restaurant. I found them at my local Brookshire Brothers grocery store, and they were pretty good, I have to say. All my children enjoyed them, so here I am just putting them on a sheet pan to warm them up in the oven to go along with our sausage potato kale soup. And the next step was to go ahead and slice up these red potatoes that I had cooked earlier in the Instant Pot, and then to add that to the soup that was cooking on the stove. At this point, I added in the kale. I definitely like to try to clean as I cook, wash dishes as I go, wipe things up as I go when possible. It just helps to not have such an overwhelming mess at the end after everything is cooked. It just seems to just be helpful to wipe things and clean things as I go. These rolls were pretty good, I have to say. For store-bought rolls, we were not disappointed. I wanted to add some grapes to this meal, so I just put them on the little plates beside the rolls. After dinner, it was time to do the farm chores, and my youngest daughter went out and helped me. Now, a few videos ago, I explained how we had a tornado blow over our house. Just a couple weeks ago, we had a hurricane that brought a lot of wind and another huge tree down. And so between the tornado and the hurricane, we have had a lot of trees down, a lot of limbs. Just our property, honestly, is just a mess, and my husband's trying to clean it little by little. But the goats appreciate all of the fallen limbs and the leaves, and so my daughter was helping me take those branches of leaves out to the goats, and then she went and gathered a couple of eggs from the chicken house for me. So many times as a homemaker, when things like sickness happen, or we are coming back from a vacation, or we've had company, I feel the effects of the setback in my homemaking routines. I feel that we have fallen off track with our routine, our schedule, and it can make me feel like I'm failing because I'm not keeping up. But I think it's important that we just recognize it is what it is. When we're sick, we're going to fall behind. When we have been traveling, there's going to be a lot of catch up. And sometimes in homemaking, instead of making great strides forward with projects, we are just simply trying to catch up and get back on track. And really, there's nothing wrong with this. This is just the nature of life. And we just have to just catch back up and get back into the rhythm. And this happens over and over again. And so I hope this little video has encouraged you that it is normal to fall behind and to just simply look and do the next right thing, and you'll catch up and you'll find yourself back on your homemaking rhythm. Again, I appreciate you watching the video, and I hope you will come again soon for more content like this. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, I would definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day, friends.